Hello everyone, Not NoClick here. Today we are looking at the game that I've never played but everyone and their disabled gator girlfriend had played. Return to Castle Wolfenstein. A game regarded as a classic, and as such, I never had an occasion to play it. Until now. Also, we are playing the real rtcw because, well, it's in the name. It's 100% intended experience by the original developers, the Grey Matter Interactive, who, good god, they are thrown into the Call of Duty Shadow Realm. It's the year 1943, and the war between Gunners and anti-Gunners has been raging for a good few years now. Our protagonist, John Dogrock, is one of the finest anti-Gun operatives, and is currently embracing his heritage as a squirrel, and proceeds to unalive his first Gunner of the game. The first chapter of the game is absolute cinema. It flows really well, the sequences are incredibly intuitive.
This belongs to you, sir.
And it's well balanced, allowing you to either go for chicken or beef. There are some personal issues though, like the aiming mechanic. The more I played the game, the more I feel like the feedback from enemies feels rather weak, leaving the player with a feeling that sometimes they just hadn't hit a gunner and instead hit a wall next to him. Compared to game's contemporaries, it feels like the enemies are lacking a lot of animations to visualize that their guns have been rearranged, but at the same time, this is more of the vanilla game's issue rather than a real rtcw's problem. After leaving the castle and seeing the gunners to sound suspiciously Slavic,
I hope we get some new blankets soon.
We are free to go ham in the village that lies on the Castle Wolfstone's doorstep. Game ended the invincible army that conquered Europe as they run straight into machine gun fire, and also grow human, a new toy given to us by Jamie fucking Hahnemann, the... We fell down into a hole and wound up in Paris, or rather its undergrounds, where in addition to beating Gunners, we also have to deal with the Frenchmen, as it is protest o'clock in the capital, and they went out of swords, shields, and flying skulls, because as we all know from French History 101, all French are adept in some sort of magical or cross-dressing. This is incredibly problematic, as those guys, if not beaten so hard their body fucking explodes, rise up again to bother you more. So take my advice and always double tap, or as it is in case of this dude, blow his ass sky high. As we move through more and more chambers that honestly look like they were ripped from the first wacky woohoo Pizzaman Adventures game, we discovered that not only Gunners have recruited OF models into their ranks, they also started summoning Drachenlord, who kills the remaining Gunners, and after that, we have our first proper boss fight. In the end, he died doing what he loved, that is, eating 12-gauge shells, but honestly, can even the dead die? Like, seriously, consider this that dead are, you know, technically, clinically dead, so isn't killing them kind of an oxymoron or something like that? Like, when you think about it, like, killing... Welcome to Malta, the hub world for real rtcw. It features incredibly tall buildings, allied soldiers who got their textures stolen by the Polish, and a couple of cool spots like the museum, another Modern Warfare reference, the bar where you can ask for harnash, or the hospital whose owner totally isn't in. Every time we come back here, there's some sort of an event happening. Sometimes the port is under lockdown, sometimes the plane crashes into walls. And during the final time on Malta, we get an opportunity to loot a smuggler's base, which is pretty cool and provides a distraction from role-playing as a 1920s detective. To proceed with the missions, you have to first listen to your officer yap for a couple of minutes about the next assignment, and then you have to pick out a gear package, which I really like as it encourages experimentation. And hey, if you don't really like the hub, you can just turn it off, just like any other feature in the mod. So for example, if you hate dogs, you can just make them go away. Welcome to the mission where 99 of John Cannon cobblestones gave up, as we're being tasked by the Romanian government to steal self-propelled Freddy Fazbear sent to be developed by the Gunners, as well as sabotage a missile factory along the way, because it's a World War II game from early 2000s. Every single game had a level like that. But first we need to get there, and this is where the fun begins. Back in the original game, this forced stealth section used to be as fun as playing Doom on a pregnancy test, as the enemies have been trained to spot a mere pixel of you, and once they do, they would raise an alarm, thus failing you in the process. In real rtcw, the developers nerfed John Gravelhound's Fiat in the visual overhaul of the game, thus making him harder to spot, because the guards can't hear the clap of his, you know. Work it, fix it. With our impeccable stealth skills, John K-9 Pebble infiltrates the facility where the Gooners attempt to send out rockets filled with horny gas, because nothing screams an unstoppable and confident war machine like chemical warfare. So we go in and send more things to the Great Goon Cave in the sky, finally enabling the rocket to be aborted, causing an explosion that allows us to proceed further into the base. The next map represents how revolutionary the game is by turning it into a walking simulator, as well as once again allowing us to see the incredible tactical prowess of our opponents as they park their truck with their micro spawner in the middle of a fucking airstrip. After clearing said Freddy Fazbear launching facility, which is bigger than 5 football fields by the way, we proceed into the base where we acquire FG-42 from deadly elite Gooners, E-Gooners, and finally steal Freddy so we can get out of here. Welcome to Googlestat, which is currently under bombardment by anti-Gooners as our opponents entered the war under a childish delusion that they were going to bomb everybody and nobody is going to bomb them. Our mission here is to find out the Venom gun and its creator, that silly goober who looks like he owns an air fryer whose alliance is... Oh, that's something. Huh. With the aid of the resistance and a tank, we infiltrate the complex by making everything in our way a past tense, and discover that outside of Swiss chocolate, Gooners have also successfully spliced peanut butter into dogs, and thus turning them into perfect killing machines. And furthermore, we discover that the whole Venom gun is a minigun of some sort, and Gooners have been also trying to create this boss from Doom Eternal, but as usual, somebody had to just fuck up. As it turns out, Venom Gun's creator escaped in... But fret not, as we learn that he fucked off to Norway after some intense interrogation.
We're going to Norway! The coordinates are 67 degrees north by 60 degrees east!